Welcome to the channel, and today we're diving into a breaking development that has Dallas Cowboys fans buzzing across the country, lighting up social media, and sending shockwaves through the NFL world. A new name has suddenly crashed into the spotlight, and it's not a veteran, not a big-money free agent, not a long-awaited draft darling. It's rookie Jaydon Blue, a player many analysts believed would need time, coaching, and patience, yet here he is, exploding onto the scene and reshaping the entire conversation about the Cowboys' offensive future. What we're witnessing right now feels like the beginning of something significant, the kind of moment fans look back on years later and say, that's when it all changed. Because as the Cowboys enter this pivotal stretch of the season, one thing is becoming crystal clear: this offense, once criticized as predictable and stagnant, suddenly looks dangerous again. And a huge part of that spark is coming from a young player almost no one saw coming. From the first moment Blue stepped on the field, there was something different in the energy. It wasn't just his speed, although that was noticeable immediately. It wasn't just his vision, although he seemed to read lanes with a maturity far beyond his rookie status. What stood out most was his confidence, the kind of quiet, controlled belief you only see in players who refuse to accept limits placed on them. Coaches reported early that he trained with a chip on his shoulder, that he absorbed the playbook faster than expected, and that he brought a fire to every drill that demanded attention. But even then, translating those traits from practice into genuine game-changing impact is something entirely different. And yet, here he is, proving that he's not merely a promising young player but a potential breakout star shaping the Cowboys' identity at the most crucial time. What has stunned fans and analysts alike is how seamlessly Blue has plugged into an offense that desperately needed fresh life. For months, criticisms piled up around the Cowboys' predictable run game, the lack of explosive plays, and the absence of a true dynamic weapon behind their star receivers. Many believed the team lacked depth and versatility, especially after roster changes and injuries left the offensive unit looking thin. So when Blue took that first handoff, lowered his shoulder, and fought through a tackle that should have dropped him behind the line, it was more than just a nice moment. It was a sign that maybe Dallas had more firepower waiting in the shadows than anyone realized. And as he followed that early spark with run after run, each more confident than the last, fans began to sense that this wasn't a fluke. This was a real emergence. Momentum like this doesn't come from one play or one lucky burst. It comes from consistency, and Blue is delivering exactly that. Every time he touches the ball, there's a sense of anticipation, a feeling that something big could happen. His acceleration is electrifying, his balance after contact is impressive for a rookie, and his field awareness looks like something crafted from years of experience rather than weeks of NFL action. Even veterans around him have commented on how natural he looks, how he processes movements, blocks, and defensive shifts with a calm, almost instinctive intelligence. And that's what separates promising young players from true rising stars. Physical talent is everywhere in the NFL. What's rare is the combination of talent, discipline, and football IQ that Blue is putting on display this early in his career. But what truly changes the trajectory of the Cowboys season is how Blue's emergence affects the entire offensive ecosystem. Suddenly, defenses have to account for him. Suddenly, linebackers hesitate for just half a second because they've already seen what happens when they underestimate him. That hesitation opens lanes for everyone else. It gives Dak Prescott more time in the pocket. It gives receivers more space across the middle. It even influences the pass rush, forcing the opposition to stay honest on the edges. It's remarkable how one player, when performing at a high level, can tilt the field in ways that boost every teammate around him. That's what the Cowboys have been missing, and that's what Blue is providing. And it's not just his running ability that's turning heads. His versatility is rapidly becoming one of the Cowboys' biggest threats. Whether he's slipping out of the backfield as a receiving option, staying in to block with surprising strength, or acting as a motion decoy to manipulate coverage, he's giving offensive coordinator Brian Schottenheimer fresh creative freedom. Suddenly, plays that previously felt stale or predictable now have new layers. Defenses can no longer pin their ears back and assume what's coming. Blue's presence creates uncertainty, and uncertainty in the NFL is often the difference between a stuffed run and a 25-yard gain. Dallas has needed that flexibility, that sense of controlled unpredictability, for a long time, and they now appear to have found it in the most unexpected place. Fans are already comparing Blue's early flashes to the rookie beginnings of other legendary Cowboys backs. While it's far too early to make sweeping comparisons, the excitement is understandable. There is something electric, something raw and promising, about the way he moves. And it's not just Cowboys fans taking notice. National analysts, former players, and even rival organizations are beginning to keep a close eye on him. Every week, more commentary emerges praising his footwork, his discipline, and especially his ability to break tackles with a combination of finesse and aggression that many believed would take years to develop. When rookies start generating this level of hype, especially in America's most scrutinized football market, it's a signal that something real is happening. But emergence in the NFL is never solely about on-field talent. It's also about mental toughness, about handling pressure under the spotlight, especially when wearing the star on your helmet. Dallas is not an easy market for a young player. The expectations, the media saturation, the constant comparisons to legends of the past, these can crush unprepared rookies. And yet, Blue seems unfazed. Interviews show a player grounded, focused, grateful, but also hungry. He speaks not with the uncertainty of someone trying to survive, but with the calm determination of someone ready to compete for greatness. That mindset is rare, and it's exactly what's needed to turn early flashes of brilliance into a long-term foundation. Still, the biggest impact of Jaydon Blue's rise might be the effect it has on the Cowboys' postseason ambitions. This team entered the season with high expectations but faced questions about their offensive reliability. Too often, they leaned on Dak Prescott to carry too much of the load. Too often, big games slipped away because the offense lacked balance. But now, with Blue becoming a legitimate weapon, defenses can no longer key solely on the passing attack. That creates a new dynamic. Dallas has been missing offensive balance. And balanced teams win games in December. Balanced teams close out fourth quarters. Balanced teams enter the playoffs with confidence and unpredictability, forcing opponents to prepare for far more than a one-dimensional strategy. As Blue continues to grow, one thing is becoming increasingly clear: the Cowboys may have stumbled into one of the most important additions to their offense in years. Not because they planned it perfectly, not because he came in with enormous hype, but because he is seizing the moment with a hunger and drive that can't be coached. Sometimes the NFL produces players like this, underestimated rookies who rise faster than expected and shift the entire narrative of a season. And when that happens, teams can transform virtually overnight. Right now, Dallas feels like a team undergoing that transformation. What once looked predictable now feels dangerous. What once felt stagnant now looks explosive. And at the center of that surge is a young player no one was talking about just a few weeks ago. Jaydon Blue isn't just emerging. He's arriving, and the Cowboys' offense is rising right alongside him. If he keeps playing with this level of intensity, confidence, and intelligence, he won't just be a rookie breakout story. He'll be a defining piece of the Cowboys' future. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want more in-depth Cowboys news, analysis, and updates, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss what's coming next.